One player who will not be playing at the Club World Cup for Man City is, of course, Kevin De Bruyne, as he's now officially signed for Serie A champions Napoli. De Bruyne is set to leave Man City when his contract expires at the end of this month after, glittering 10-year career at the Etihad Stadium. He's joined Napoli on a 2-year deal, as it's been reported. De Bruyne has said that he was attracted by the really nice project at Napoli, and he's there to win silverware. He's hungry for more after winning 19 trophies as a Man City player. So it's maybe going to going to take for City fans a little bit of time to get used to seeing De Bruyne in a different shade of blue, playing for a new club. What do you make of this move, Stephen? Do you think it's a good move for all parties, for De Bruyne now at this stage of his career and for Napoli who are keen to build on that title win from last season?
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. I personally, to yeah, a lot of City fans agreed with me, but I felt it was the right time for him to move on. I know he was really good, but I think if you ask a lot of City fans, you told them that we'd be replacing De Bruyne with Shirky, I think they would have took it a lot easier to swallow. But I was very much of the mindset that you can't keep De Bruyne around and also try and get a new number 10 in at the same time. He'd barely play any football because Kevin De Bruyne is so good that he demands inclusion because he's Kevin De Bruyne. So I felt it was the right time. I think there was still brilliance there, but the brilliance was less frequent. The injuries were obviously more profound, and I felt it was the right time for De Bruyne to to go the season with his head held high, got a seat in the Champions League, had some really big performances towards the end. It's absolutely painful. He's genuinely my favourite ever Manchester City player. I think he's an insanely gifted, once in a lifetime footballer. The only thing I cared about was that he didn't go to the Premier League. Or maybe a club like Real Madrid or something like that. I wanted to see him go somewhere a little bit more interesting, and Napoli fit that down to a T. An intensely passionate club with legends and history. Obviously, he's wearing blue still as well, which makes it a little bit easier. I know it's a sort of basic way of looking at it, but that stuff, it's a lot easier to take when you see him in blue as opposed to suddenly wearing red or something like that. It
Yeah.
just feels a bit weird. Obviously, he wears red all the time for Belgium, but you know what I'm saying. It's one of those things where, yeah, I don't know. It's just I think you'll enjoy Serie A as well. I think the slightly slower pace compared to the intensity of the German league or French league or the Premier League, it is a little bit slower. Not as much as people make it out, but it is. And I think you'll enjoy playing with Lukaku, McTominay link up, which is fascinating, and Billy Gilmore of all the things. It's just that, but yeah, I think he'll really enjoy it over there. They'll treat him like the god that he is. He's a genuinely special footballer, one that will go down in the history books as one of the greatest to ever do it. Not the greatest ever Manchester City, one of the greatest to ever do it in the history of world football. Full stop. I think De Bruyne is up there in the conversation with Modric and Iniesta, people like that. Zidane. I think he's that level special. I think if he was playing for a club other than Manchester City, and this is not me just trying to be all tribalistic. But I think it's true. I don't think City have, for whatever reason, I don't think City have the historic standing of Madrid or Liverpool in the Premier League because we're not seen as one of those traditionally historic clubs because we're new money and we're new trophies and all that kind of stuff. I know City have been around a long time, but you know what I'm saying. People don't hold City as in a high standing. If De Bruyne achieved what he did at Manchester City, there'd be no question. If he achieved what he did at City at someone like Real Madrid, no one would be questioning if he's one of the greatest ever. They would be demanding that he is. He'd be in the conversations with those players. All to be said is that I think time will be very kind to him. I think it will do. I think people will realise once the dust has settled and they remove the City hate from it, that De Bruyne was a special footballer, and a lot of people already can admit that. Um, but I think you're going to have to look at the reaction he's getting going over to Napoli. They are absolutely thrilled to see him in Napoli shirt. They can't wait to see him over there. He's been treated like a king, and I can't wait to see how he gets on. I'm hoping he gets a title with them, and I'm hoping he's brilliant because I want to look over and see those envious glances. Like, oh, I wish Kev was here. I hope we don't need him. We've got Shirky and so on, but I want him to do really, really well there, and it's good to see him go to a team that I can get behind, I suppose.